just the single...
That is a magnificent dragon statue. I wonder how many people ever get to see it.
Can I help you?
I've got my eye on you.
Name an appointment. Confirmed. Ularu is wrapping up a meeting with Genevieve. You can wait here or in the lobby area. I'll let you know when she's ready to see you. I see Imogene Salso is supposed to be with you.
I'm right here, Maeve.
Good. It should just be a moment. Well, sooner than I thought. Looks like Ularu's ready now.
That leaves us with only one option.
God, Ularu. Is that always your response? I don't want another PR mess on my hands.
Yes, Viv, because you're too good at your job. Now, we can talk details later. My next appointment's here.
Fine, but you can break this news to Alexis at our next meeting.
Don't wander into any restricted areas.
Good. You're finally here. The one I've been hearing so much about. I'm Ularu Chen, head of operations here at Ryujin. So tell me, what do you think of your new job so far? Simply put, our goal is to ensure the success of this company and keep things running smoothly. We supply our various departments with whatever resources they need in order to meet expectations to achieve this. It's much easier said than done, believe me. Like taking coffee orders and picking up dry cleaning, I suppose? You're certainly free to quit if you don't like the work, but let's face it up, you're good at what you do. Now, my dear Jeannie here says you've been through the basics of what we do, and pulled off success every time.
5 successful standard assignments, and 1 specialized.
Oh, a few incidents here and there, but nothing we can't handle, right? I happen to have a personal assignment that I'd like to send you on. One that involves meeting up with an outside contact. Jeannie seems to think you're more than capable of handling it.
He's the best operative I've ever hired.
Let's not forget the only operative you've ever hired. Meeting with outside contacts isn't always as straightforward as your past assignments. Some can be fickle or demanding, so you'll need to decide how to handle them and what decisions to make on the fly. I'd use the word trust loosely. We maintain a relationship of sorts. Those who come through get paid, and those who don't, well, they won't live to regret it. That's exactly the type of operative I want. Someone who doesn't take no for an answer. Your contact is Simon Rychek. He claims to have information on a new project that Infinity Ltd is working on. He said it's a game changer that Ryujin would be especially interested in. So, his asking price is the big thing to consider. Finance will reimburse up to 1,000 credits. So, if you have negotiation skills, use them. Simon's been working with us for years, so he'll pose no threat to you. He's paranoid, which is why I assume he's never been caught. But his information is typically worth it. Now, in order to confirm your identity, Simon prefers code phrases. I'll let Jeannie give you the details on this one because the concept is just beneath me.
Simon is into sports, so he enjoys any opportunity to talk about them. At some point, he'll casually say, "Looks like the Galactic Raiders are the #1 pick for the Universal Championship this year." You get to respond with, "Razor Derby is the only real sport." Got it?
Then we throw our drink to the floor and flip over a random chair, right?
According to Simon Rychek, it's the only real sport in the galaxy. But if you want a lesson in sports, just ask him. Movies are more my thing when it comes to entertainment. They're a batball team that sucks. They have about as much chance of winning the Universal Championship as Aurora does of going legal outside of Neon. Simon despises batball, though, which is why he crafted that response you give in return.
Exactly.
Just get what we need. You'll find him above the Lux condos in Sidonia's Plaza.
You spoke very highly of this one, Jeannie. Let's hope he doesn't make a liar out of you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some things to take care of.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Keep out of my way, and I'll keep out of yours.
Sidonia is home to some hard-working folks for sure. If you don't follow, then living in the ground or caves has been a classic. Branched off.
Do your part to keep Sidonia busy.
Sidonia may be rough around the edges, but it is utterly monumental for humanity.
Sidonia, what a dump. You lost? Or just come to ask an out-of-work miner how his day's going? Yeah. I just wish Sidonia had a bit more to offer while I'm trying to enjoy my unemployment. Not much in the way of entertainment around here. Speaking of, looks like the Galactic Raiders are the #1 pick for the Universal Championship this year. Not a sports fan, huh? Why don't you take a hike? Get lost, kid. Looks like the Galactic Raiders are the #1 pick for the Universal Championship this year. You're damn right it is. I heard they were sending someone new. Nice to see you made it. I have information on a deal being proposed between Infinity Ltd and Deimos Stockyards. It's my belief that your employers would be highly interested in the details. So I'm upping my price. It's steep, yes. But that is why I'm also offering a little side job if you can't pay up.
Do you take coupons?
Glad you see reason. As you may guess, being an informant is not without its risks. I've heard there's a merc in Saturn's orbit who'd like to cross my name off her list. Milai Liskova. If you take her out and bring me her gun as proof, I'll consider my fee to be waived. Liskova has a sentimental attachment to that gun. Even named it Ember. She'd never just hand it over. It saved her life once or twice. Seems whenever it falls into enemy hands, it has a tendency to backfire or jam. On top of that, she's superstitious, which makes the gun all the more precious to her. She's a freelance mercenary, used to work for Inception Technologies. But she likes her independence, so she went into business for herself. She specializes in killing for the right price. So before you get any second thoughts, you should think of it as doing the settled systems a favor.
Really? Just like that? We aren't mercs for hire, are we? Ah, forget it. Maybe we were the whole time.
Good. Malai's ship is called the Datura, and like I said, you can find her in orbit around Saturn. Just remember to bring the gun back as proof.
That's about enough. That's more like it. So, tell me what you're doing here. I'll decide whether or not to strip you for salvage. I'm looking for a lot of people, and none of them are any business of yours. Oh yeah? From what? Yours the only thing around here that looks like a threat to me. So, give me one good reason why I shouldn't feed you to the void. Simon will never stop. The man will hold a grudge until his dying breath. What are you, a therapist? It's none of your business. I admit, it'd be nice to be able to relax a bit. Yeah, right. You know, I'd never... Oh. I get it. All right. You can have Ember. But you'll have to come aboard to get her. You have my word, you won't be harmed. For whatever that's worth.
Ship is now docked. Perfect. Didn't even smudge the paint.
I'm impressed. Simon managed to find someone with guts to come after me. I suppose it shouldn't surprise me that he wants Ember as proof of this. He knows I'd never part with her. We were a thing for a while. Until the coward sold me out. I'm sure he regrets it, considering I survived the attempt on my life. And now, I live to blackmail him and make his life a living hell. So if Simon told you I wanted him dead, it's a lie. I want him very much alive. And suffering. There's nothing more therapeutic than revenge. You really think I'd let you just waltz onto my ship and I'd hand her over? If you knew anything about me, you'd know honesty isn't my strong suit. The only truth here is that I've intended to kill you since the moment you set foot on my ship. Your ship, of course. I'd hate to risk damaging something I could easily sell. Plus, this way I can simply climb aboard to see if there's anything of value, rather than have to sift through debris. Any access cards I need, I can just take off your dead body. I'm pretty sure I've already made up my mind. You make a good point. If you manage to find me, you certainly know who I am. And I don't know a thing about you. I suppose you have a point. I already have enough targets on me as it is. Okay. Fine. You've compelled me to hold up my end of the deal after all. You get Ember, I'll disappear. Besides, I like to think of this as just a temporary arrangement. She's always found her way back to me before. Why should this time be any different? I already gave you Ember, and the truth is, you don't. Something you may want to keep in mind next time you make a deal with a total stranger. Spoken like so many others in my life, and look who's still alive. You can determine what that means for yourself. I guess Simon chose wisely. For once. Now get off my ship. I've got an identity to arrange and a vacation to plan.
Hard to believe this little tin can protects us from certain death constantly, without fail. So far, anyway.
Just here for a chat?
Ships released. Let's go.
Look who survived the devil herself. Well, either that or you decided to pay up. Well, with an attitude like that, I take it the job's done. Wait a minute. You spoke to that lie-weaving terramorph? You should have just outright killed her. Of course. I don't believe Malai ever knew how to tell the truth. For all I know, that's not even her name. What I told you was the truth. The woman wanted me dead. Good thing I'm not here to make friends then. So, back to business. You got the gun. I haven't given it much thought. The truth is, I never thought I'd see it. The only thing I know for sure is that I'm sure as hell not going to use it. Looking here. Just allow an old man a moment. It's strange. I always imagined I'd be happy knowing she's gone. Perhaps I've been running so long now that it will just take time for the relief to set in. You know, why don't you keep that gun of hers? I think it's time I left the past behind. Yes, let's. Enough about the past. The information I have is on a deal for something called Project Dominion. I'm giving you 2 slates. They contain surveillance and interaction data for Stanley McMillan, the Infinity rep, that I obtained myself. I'm also giving you a 3rd slate because you're going to need to download the files on Project Dominion off his computer yourself. Best guess is it has something to do with Infinity getting into the neuroamp business. Stanley McMillan seemed to think Ryujin would be the one company threatened by this news, so their entry must involve something big. Getting information is what you people do. I'm just a lowly, yet very well paid informant, here to point you in the right direction. Nice doing business with you.
What the hell are you doing in this dump of a city anyway? You draw the short stick at work or what?
Infinity sent me to get Deimos to bite on a deal. He's even got a catchy code name. Project Dominion.
Sounds like world domination to me, buddy. I'd buy into that in a heartbeat.
Right? I'm telling you, this Project Dominion is the real deal. We ought to be selling this to Inception or Quantum.
Hell, you should be in the Astro Lounge making Ryujin Industries beg for that tech.
Ha! That'd be the greatest irony of them all, but not this baby. Dominion is finally gonna put Infinity first. We'll beat Ryujin at their own game.
Only employees of Depot Staryard's Crime Division are authorized to find resources in and around Sidonia. It is your civic duty to report any unauthorized mining to Sidonia Security.
Good old Davis Staryard. You won't find anything flashy here, but it'll get you where you need to go. I admire your knowledge of how these systems work. Very impressive.
You're out there a lot, right? Well, that took longer than expected. I hope whatever information Simon had was worth it. Project Dominion? That can't be right. Give me a moment to run a decryption. Let's see. Got the key, deciphering, and done. Well, well, well. Looks like our friend Simon wasn't joking. Project Dominion isn't an Infinity Ltd prototype. It's one of ours. They didn't even bother to scrub the name. Meaning someone never thought they'd get caught. Come with me. Masako needs to hear about this.
I've got my eye on you.
Don't cause any trouble.
Hey, Em.
Ularu? What is this about? Who is this?
This is our latest junior operative. I sent him on an assignment to rendezvous with an informant. But here's the real news. Infinity Ltd has gotten their hands on Project Dominion.
Impossible.
Not only that, they're trying to sell it under their own name.
Of course they are. We need fines to investigate this immediately. Since you found this information, I am trusting you to help investigate. You see, Project Dominion is confidential. It requires a high security clearance to even know it exists. If Infinity Ltd has obtained any information on it, that means we have a very well-connected mole within our corporation. I suppose, since we're trusting you in this investigation, I can give you some details. Project Dominion is our latest advancement in neuroamp technology. Our current neuroamps are all external devices, but Project Dominion would be the first surgically implanted internal neuroamp on the market. The project itself was nearing completion, which is why exposing the mole is of utmost importance. We can't allow any more research to fall into their hands. Because you exposed this information, I have little reason to suspect you. That won't mean you'll be exempt from investigation, of course.
So you're saying you can't trust anybody else? Gotcha. Seems like the mole stuff is the least of your concerns if you can't even trust your co-workers.
Indeed. A mess that I expect you to help clean up, and quickly. I want you to go see Dalton Fines, our Chief Security Officer. I'll send him the details. You've brought an enormous security violation to our attention, so I trust your help in any way possible. And thank you. Some operatives may have seized this as an opportunity for extortion. It's good to know your loyalty lies with us. Dalton.
Ah, the lovely Miss Amada. How can I help?
Cut the crap, Dalton. I'm sending an operative your way, along with some files to your computer.
I'll be ready.
Not for this one, but I trust you'll get it done.